In the annals of 2017, approximately half a year elapsed since my tenure within the precincts of a local legal entity. My role, that of a junior legal aide tethered to a statewide biodiesel enterprise, comprised merely one facet of my multifaceted responsibilities. Although formally assigned to this realm, the ebbs of downtime cast me adrift across diverse teams throughout the temporal expanse. The turning point transpired in the nascent throes of February, when an edict was issued from the echelons above. The biodiesel dominion had undergone a shift in ownership, instigating a desire for transformative measures. Employment statuses remained intact, yet the new proprietor harbored ambitions of financial investments. Prospective manufacturing plants, two nestled in the bosom of Missouri and one to the west, conveniently proximate to their warehousing facilities, were envisioned. Alas, a critical impediment emerged: the dearth of viable properties for construction. Despite the potential for a multi-million-dollar venture, the absence of a suitable site loomed large. Enter serendipity in the form of my hometown, Tomskog, Minnesota. Prompted by an epiphany, I proposed investigating an overlooked tract traversed daily en route to academia. A vast, desolate expanse on the town's periphery, adorned with dilapidated domiciles ripe for demolition, seized my attention. Privately owned, the proprietor's identity eluded us. My superior, brimming with exuberance, grasped the fortuity. The client, teetering on the brink of withdrawal, could now be swayed with the proposition of a property. A lucrative bonus and a finder's fee awaited, promising the annulment of my junior epithet. Endowed with the privilege of suggestion, I obtained leave to uncover the owner's identity. Foreseen predicaments ensued. Archival damage during a 2014 deluge had ravaged the original property documents, with only a fraction digitized. The specific document sought might languish in non-digital limbo. The municipal clerk, pledging resolution within 4 to 8 weeks, with an extension to 12 at the utmost, was the only recourse. A time frame deemed untenable. Hence, luggage in tow, feline entrusted to maternal care, ensconced within the opulent maroon BMW company vehicle, I embarked on a journey retracing familiar thoroughfares. Fueling halts and a convoluted detour due to a fallen oak tree prolonged the expedition. Yet, as dusk encroached, I arrived at the desolate field, shrouded in February's mud-stained snow. An abandoned barn and a diminutive log cabin graced the periphery. Roads lay obscured, overgrown with no discernible pathways. Anticipating a morn return, time beckoning, I opted to venture forth. A potential plaque unveiling the owner's identity could expedite proceedings, paving the way for a swift resolution. Consulting my mobile device, flashlight in hand, I secured the vehicle and traversed the knee-deep snow. The penetrating cold rendered my sophisticated footwear insubstantial, yet resolute, I traversed the field with a sense of purpose. Temporal miscalculation ensued. Nightfall enveloped the surroundings as I reached the cabin. Illuminated by the flashlight, a circumnavigation ensued, a precaution against the perils of rustic entrapment. Swift realization dawned. Years of abandonment had rendered the structure dilapidated. Boards, frail and decayed, barely upheld the edifice. A cursory knock revealed desolation. The search for a name, plaque, or inscription yielded naught. Night's imminent descent and ominous clouds on the horizon precluded a morning return. Urban exploration beckoned, and a ajar door invited a cursory peek within. Approaching, an anomaly seized my attention, a carving atop the doorframe. Word by word, my flashlight unveiled the inscription, a revelation in itself. Attempting to comprehend the situation proved challenging, a perplexing notion clouding my mind. Its meaning eluded me entirely. How could it be that no one had ever dwelled in this remote house? It defied reason. Someone must have constructed it, and someone must hold ownership. Why would there exist a dwelling in solitude, untouched by human presence? A moment of hesitation lingered. An internal urging suggested postponing exploration until dawn. Yet, the ominous clouds on the horizon and the numbing chill in my feet contradicted such caution. Evidence of a habitual communicator presented itself in the form of a carving. The unlocked door hinted at potential messages within. Thus I entered. The cabin's layout featured a rudimentary design, a single expansive room housing a wooden bench facing a modest fireplace. 2 handcrafted tables, and on the western wall an array of dried herbs, predominantly blue and black. A surprisingly pristine cowhide graced the floor. A small kitchen door on the eastern side revealed antique stove and a few cabinets, attesting to a Spartan lifestyle. Correction was necessary. The carving explicitly stated the absence of any past inhabitants. Then, what warranted the presence of furniture? Opting to temporarily ignore the enigmatic message, my focus shifted to identifying the property's owner. I meticulously inspected the handmade furniture for initials or markings under the flickering light of my failing flashlight. Scarcity of markings and the impending darkness compelled me to improvise. A piece of bark ignited by a lighter served as an alternative light source. The cleared smoke and crackling fire illuminated the space. Although my phone offered an alternative flashlight, conserving battery became a priority. A fire ignited, its door ajar to prevent carbon dioxide accumulation, a grave concern. As flames danced, I took reprieve on the bench. The cabin exuded a cozy ambience, reminiscent of a fishing retreat, a scene where my father warmed his hands by a similar fire. The year 2010 robbed me of his presence, yet his memory persisted in such rustic environments. Amidst hand-warming, shadows stretching, an imaginary echo of my father materialized. His warmth seemed palpable. My gaze fixated on a space near the fireplace where an iron plate concealed a hidden compartment. Curiosity prompted its discovery. Unfastening the plate revealed 4 artifacts: a fractured pocket watch, an empty hip flask, 3 discharged shotgun shells, and a diminutive journal. The journal, my focus, bore potential identification of the elusive owner. A decision loomed: either purloin the journal or read it by the fire during the impending storm. Cold feet dictated my choice. Shoes off, feet warming, I immersed myself in the cursive text, unveiling a peculiar beginning. The absence of a name persisted throughout the pages. The author narrated a fragmented history, from Wisconsin upbringing to a sparse existence in the cabin. A struggle, barricades, and the use of a shotgun hinted at a mysterious confrontation. Segments of missing time plagued the narrative. The journal hinted at a confrontation with intruders, their demise, and a burial by the barn. Emotions intertwined with forgetfulness, a broken pocket watch symbolizing time's untrustworthiness. The entry alluded to a memory-triggered deterioration linked to the ignition of the cabin's fire. Suspense peaked with the final revelation. It started when I lit the fire. Everything turned worse after I lit the fire. Reflection upon the dwindling logs illuminated my predicament. Unknowingly retracing the steps of an enigmatic cabin dweller, I realized the gravity of my situation. Alone, yet not alone. A disturbing realization struck as I faced an intangible entity, a phenomenon akin to being devoured not physically, but on a more profound level. An indefinable consumption, akin to losing an intrinsic part of oneself. Memories dissolved into a void, a sensation paralleling the unease of anticipating a concealed horror. Fumbling towards an old barn, I sought refuge behind debris. A decision to summon help wavered as my phone's code eluded my freezing fingers. In silence, I huddled with the journal, relying on a blurred lock screen's makeshift light. The entity, soundless, passed by. Memories of a confrontation, my father, and the cabin's past melded into an amalgamation. An innate dread permeated as I perceived a creature, perhaps featureless, or maybe just clever, effecting a chaotic escape into the dark. The barn's upper floor yielded an unexpected discovery, a double-barreled hunting rifle, loaded but inscrutable. A standoff ensued, words exchanged in silence. The entity withdrew, leaving behind confusion, sweats, and fragmented memories. A mysterious toxin took hold, inducing cognitive disarray and a fervent need to grasp onto cherished memories as a lifeline. Backtracking through the snow-laden path, an encounter with the entity's lingering effect compelled the remembrance of a past fishing trip with my father. Eventually reaching my car, the creature's toxin relinquished its hold with the rising sun. The shotgun shell's emptiness raised questions. Was the entity a collector, a feeder, or something beyond comprehension? In piecing together the narrative, my attempts to share the tale yielded forgetfulness among acquaintances, reminiscent of the entity's influence. An elusive truth lingered, a sensation of loss persisting even in comprehension. The journal, a tangible relic, served as a testament to an encounter with an entity that wielded forgetfulness as a weapon, leaving me grappling with the shadows of an inexplicable encounter in a desolate cabin.